everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. I hope today and I hope April has been treating you well. It is currently the start of May. How on earth has that happened? But I am recapping everything that I tested out, did reviews on my channel. I'm going over everything here, giving a roundup, telling you my thoughts now that I had a little bit more time to play. So as always, I will leave any relevant videos linked up in the cards, linked down below. You'll see a little thumbnail of what that video looks like just here, but I'm just going to dive straight on in because I've got so much to talk about today. I am sorry, but this video is going to be so long. I highly recommend that you get yourself a beverage. I have, of course, got cherry cordial. It's always the same, but let's just start right back at the start of April. And the first video that I put up in the month of April, I had got my hands on the Cosmic Brushes Delicious Delights eyeshadow palette, and truly, I am a whole new person now that I have dived nose first into the UK indie makeup world. I have found so many amazing products this month because I gave this one a shot and I was so impressed that now I've got so many products out in front of me that are from like the UK indie brands and just indie brands in general. I have just found so many gems and this started it off. So like I say, this is the Delicious Delights 20 colour palette. Tell me that that is not spring, summer in an eyeshadow palette. I have used this so much this month. I've been a lot in the purple area, a lot, and you will see a theme as the video goes on. There's been a lot of purple this month. I mean, so much so that I got purple nails because I've just been loving it. I've just been feeling so inspired by like more colourful makeup and I've really been enjoying it. Like, I'm out of my neutral beige era. I'm in the colours and I'm here for it. So like I say, I have used this so much. The mattes are insane. They blend out so easily, but also they're incredibly pigmented. They lay down such an incredible amount of colour, but they also just blend out really easily. If you don't know, I really am not very good at sort of patience and like actually working on a look. I just want it to work straight off the bat, and if something doesn't work then I get quite frustrated with it and I just tend to give up. These, the formula of them is just absolutely 10 out of 10. I can't fault it. I absolutely cannot fault it. The duochromes are like mind-blowingly beautiful. Truly mind-blowing. If you haven't tried anything from Cosmic Brushes, and there is another palette coming up, we're gonna get to that. If you haven't tried anything from Cosmic Brushes and you like colourful, you like pastels, you like the look of it, I cannot recommend it highly enough. I am so glad that it is in my life, like so glad. So like I say, I was definitely on a purple lilac vibe this month, and the next video that went up was P. Louise. I picked up a load of things from P. Louise and then I also purchased their budget box. So this is from the video where I was testing out the things that I actually purchased. So obviously purples. For me, the standout reason why I love this is the mattes. The shimmers are fine. The shimmers are fine. They're not incredible. The shimmers are sort of secondary to me. The mattes in this and the undertones of these matte eyeshadows is incredible. Again, blend out so easily. You can just pack on a colour, do a big wing, call it a day, which is absolutely my vibe, just on an everyday. And like I say, I've really been getting into more colourful looks, and I feel like purple is definitely where I feel comfortable, but still colourful. if that makes any sort of sense. I am waiting for a really good deal to come back on TikTok Shop for more P. Louise eyeshadow products, because honestly, I'm so impressed. I feel like in any other month, this would have been like top tier, but I have tested out so many eyeshadow palettes this month that this is like going down the list, but only because the other ones have had the shimmers there. And I am a magpie, so I like having those shimmers. Like I say, then the next video that went up was the P. Louise budget box, and I cannot downplay enough how disappointed I was in that box, because the only product that I have continued to use is a lip balm, and this is a great lip balm. 10 out of 10 lip balm, apart from the fact that this packaging, it's like the packaging is faulty or something, because if I, oh, it's leaking a little bit, but if I show you this close up, you will be able to see I really have to squeeze to get the tiniest bit of product out. Like, I have to put my whole being into squeezing this tube to get that much product out. And like, yeah, that's enough of that lip balm. It's a really lovely lip balm. Really, really lovely. But oh my goodness, is it absolutely impossible to get out of the tube. Does anybody else have that problem, or do I genuinely just have a faulty one? Like, do I need to buy another one in the hope that it actually comes out of the tube? Because if I have this in my handbag and it's slightly colder, like it's quite warm in my room today, I've got all of my lights on, it's quite warm in here. If I have had this in my handbag and it's cold, don't even bother trying to get the product out of here. And like I say, this is the single product that I have used out of that £30 budget box. That being said, I have signed up for another month because I'm willing to give it a go. I really, really want to feel like I'm getting my money's worth out of it. I feel like that was probably a bad one to start on due to the fact that it was like light, medium and deep, and I just happened to get the deep one, and obviously that's not the one that I need. So those products have absolutely just gone to waste. I've sent them to somebody on Instagram. But yeah, absolutely just not a good value for money for me for that one. But I have signed up for another month. Then the next video that went up, I was trying the Mood Switch collection from Revolution. This is the only product that I have continued to use out of that. Like I say, this month has been very eyeshadow palette heavy, so the eyeshadow palette was fine. It didn't knock my socks off. It was a whole palette of shimmers and like duochrome shades, which is fine. I definitely like a good selection of mattes in my eyeshadow palette, so I would always have to go in with something else. If you like a shimmer, it's a good shimmer palette. It's absolutely not a bad palette, but this is the only product that I've continued to use from that video, which is the Aura blush. And if I open this up, you may be able to see it's a beautiful lilac-y toned pink, really, really like vibrant on the skin. Really love this. I still am not sure about that highlight setting powder thing. This one, the Aura powder, because on their Instagram they posted a video where the if you've been on their Instagram, you know the girl that I mean that does all of their Instagram posts. She's beautiful, but she uses this under her eyes, and I'm like, this is blue. Like, I could not use that under my eyes. This is a highlight and it's a blue toned highlight. So I mean, it's nice, it's smooth, it's not chunky, it's not glittery, but it's a blue toned highlight. Like, it's very, very blue. So under my eyes, I don't need any help in the blue department. Okay, just again, haven't used it, don't think I will use it. Another product that just doesn't really hit the mark. Like, it's not bright enough to be a highlight, but it's definitely too blue to be under my eyes. It's just a bit of a weird one. I don't really know where it fits into my makeup routine. Next up, however, something that has seamlessly fit into my makeup routine, Odin's Eye. Absolutely incredible. I am blown away. So the palette that I reviewed when I did the haul video is the Hella Odin's Eye and Angelica Nyquist collab. You can't get this by itself. It just came in that mystery bundle that they did, which is a terrible shame because it is beautiful. It's like exactly the tones of my t-shirt. I love these like muddy, mossy, khaki greens. I just think that they are so like earthy and sort of neutral feeling while it's still a little bit colourful, and I have been using this so much. It's either been purple or it's been green, like and I have filmed the video for the Little Ghost palette, which is here. Yes, here. I have filmed that, but it hasn't gone up yet. I prefer this one, even though the other Little Ghost one is purple. I prefer this one, the duochromes. Again, I'm just in my duochrome, multi-chrome era. I have been loving using this. This is definitely one that I see myself using more in autumn because it's more of those like muddy, deeper shades. But it's incredible. I'm definitely like interested in Odin's Eye. Like, definitely I'm there. You don't need to convince me. Like I say, indie brands have been front and centre for me this month. And then the complete opposite of indie brands, Elf. The next video that went up, I was testing out the new bronzing drops. I was comparing the Elf ones to the Revolution ones and seeing what my thoughts were on all of them. And in that video, I was neutral. I still feel quite neutral. Like, I don't have a preference between the two. I've been reaching for the Elf ones more, and I don't really know why. I like the colour. I like the way that they mix in with a primer. I have actually been mixing these in with, hold please, the primer that I have in my project pan, which is the Essence Hello Good Stuff Primer Serum. So I've just been taking a few drops of the bronzing drops and a few drops of the primer, mixing them together and just applying it all over as like a bronzing primer step. Obviously on my skin tone this by itself is just too much colour, but these together under like foundation or even like a light coverage skin tint, beautiful. Big fan, and it's been mixing in with that primer serum really nicely. Also in that video I tried the Revolution blush drops. So these are obviously more of like a pink, it's blush. It's more of a pinky hue. This, just, I take a tiny little dot on the back of my hand, and when I say tiny I mean like the head of a pin. Tiny amount, and then blending it out with a brush. And then sometimes I've been going over with a glowy powder blush to like set it in. Sometimes I've just been using it on its own, and it's beautiful. It's just the right amount of pigmented. It's not like the Elf camo blushes where it's like the tiniest little bit and it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Like a little bit will do your cheeks, a little bit on the bridge of your nose if that's the vibe that you go for, but it's so nice and glowy. I am a glowy blush gal. I have dry skin, so anything that can give me a little bit of faux glow I am here for. Speaking of which, I was meant to get there's a lip product that I've been loving and I've left it in my handbag. I'll tell you about it. It's the Made by Mitchell liquid lipstick in You're Fired. I'll put a picture of it here. I tested this in a full face of new makeup, and I filmed that video like at the end of the day, so I wasn't able to do a full day wear test. I have worn that lipstick for a full like 12 hours. It stays perfect. I tried it without a lip liner, I tried it with a lip liner. You don't need one for it to like, I mean, I didn't find it was like bleeding into the cracks and the wrinkles and such around my mouth. I am really impressed with that lip liner, with that liquid lipstick. Oh my giddy goat. It lasts. It doesn't feel drying. It doesn't feel like tight on the lips. It feels like nothing, but it gives you the most intense colour payoff on the first tiny little swipe. And I am all about the orange toned red lip products, and I don't love a matte because they're so dry, but that one I will absolutely make exceptions for. It doesn't feel dry, so I've been loving it. Loving it. And it doesn't stain my lips. Like, I can take it off at the end of the day, and if I want to do a nude the next day, I absolutely can. Sometimes with like deeper lip, it's not deep, but like with a brighter red toned lip like that, sometimes it leaves a little bit of colour, and then the next day if you're wearing a nude you can still sort of see it a little bit. It absolutely does not do that. It comes off at the end of the day, it comes off when you want it to, but it stays there until you're not ready to wear it anymore. I am blown away by it, truly. It is absolutely beautiful. Also in that video I tested out the new e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray, and if I hold this quite still you'll be able to see I have been using this a ton. So you have to like shake it up because it's got the 2 layers. Shake it up, spray it all over. Shall I spray some now? I don't need to. It truly is the finest mist. I don't usually like to put on setting sprays after I've done my mascara, eyeliner, things like that. I find that sometimes it can make it, you know, smudge, it can dampen it and then make it transfer more. You can spray this throughout the day to like rejuice up your skin. Not that I feel like I need it today. I'll come to what I've got on in a minute, but oh, it's so beautiful. I don't know if it necessarily overtakes the Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist for me. I'm not sure. I like both. I like both for quite different reasons. If I was going, you know, for my wedding day, I would choose the Stay All Night because that's what I did wear on my wedding day and it really kept everything really nice and locked in. But for an everyday where I just want to look really nice and soft and juicy and hydrated throughout the day, I've absolutely been using this one. I really have been enjoying it, and like I say, it's the finest mist. There's a reason that people go on about, people being me, people being this chick, go on about how incredible the setting spray is from e.l.f. It's like you can't even feel it, but you can feel it working, if that makes any sort of sense. I love. It's time for a cherry cordial break. So, continuing on the purple lilac eyeshadow comments that I was making before, I got the Cosmic Brushes Winter Wonderland eyeshadow palette on their like pre-sale. Again, another one I have been loving. I do want to film a look with more of the like greens and the blues, the look that I did when I tested this. I did more of like the purples. I want to do the greens and the blues. I want to test that out. The shimmers. I think between I couldn't choose between this and the Delicious Delights. Don't make me choose. I could not choose. They're different. In my defense, they're very different. This one is bright. This one you can do any sort of rainbow look with. It's got variety. If you know you like blues, if you know you like purples, if you know you like those like tealy colours across the middle, which I just love. It's absolutely phenomenal. And when you think, I can't remember how much I paid for the Delicious Delights, but the Cosmic brushes was £28. Like, how can they even make that quality of eyeshadow, and the reflection, and it's got a mirror, and the packaging is substantial? How do they do that for £28? I can't wrap my head around it. I'm speechless. Honestly, Winter Wonderland has my whole heart, and I don't even wear cool tones. This is the kicker. I wear warm tones. But Winter Wonderland is obviously cool toned, and I can't stop. It's on theme for the year because everything that I've read has said that cool tones are in 2024. I like warm tones, but also I agree because I can't stop using it. The next video that went up, I was testing out the new products from Natural Collection. I have continued to use them. The skin tint is nice, the concealer is nice. They are definitely improved formulas rather than just repackaged. I really like them. The mascara has not been anywhere near my eyes since that video. If you watched it, you will know why. I cried. I don't know if something got in my eye. I don't know what it was, but I have had the fear ever since then. The mascara, I do believe, burnt my eyeballs, so I haven't gone anywhere near it. However, I did just want to highlight the fact that I did wear the Natural Collection liquid eyeliner for a full day at work, and it did not smudge. It was still there at the end of the day. It lasted so well. Yeah, I don't like the applicator. Yeah, I really wish more brands would come out with brush tips, because this is so firm. It's like jabbing yourself in the eyeball as you're trying to get any sort of detail in a liquid liner. I do wish that brands would come out with more brush tip applicators. I just find it so much more convenient to use. It's so much easier for me to use as somebody who's always wearing a wing but is not very good at, like I say, concentrating on doing a wing. If it's not easy, I won't do it. And I don't find this all that easy to use, but it does last really well. So I'll give it that. And obviously Natural Collection, it's all incredibly affordable, but I'm thrilled with like the improved shade range in the skin tint and the concealer and all of that good stuff. So if you are in the market for an incredibly affordable update to your makeup bag, the Natural Collection, the new products from Natural Collection really have an improved formula. They're not like what you might remember from your childhood if you are my sort of age. Then a couple of days ago, you may well have seen I did a full face pretty much of Made by Mitchell products. I was testing out the Truth Tint and the, what are you? Oh, Balm Concealer, but what was it? Bolt Balm. The Truth Tint and the Bolt Balm. Now I'm gonna just caveat this because I was about to say I'm really loving it. I will say I am enjoying it. I am really enjoying it. I am a big fan, but this face of makeup that you see here is only the second time that I am trying this, because I only filmed that video yesterday. So yes, I am really enjoying it. This went over the top of my skincare. Now, what moisturiser did I put on this morning? Oh, I know what I put on. It was the e.l.f. It was a little, honestly, my table. It was like the Holy Hydration moisturiser, and I don't have any SPF on today. This went on over the top of that beautifully with a sponge, and I used a brush for the Bulk Balm, which was this little one from Technic, and I don't know what it is, but it's like an angled something. I applied this Truth Tint with the sponge and the Bulk Balm with this brush, and then I blended out the edges with the sponge, and I think my skin is looking pretty good today, considering I'm still, thank you also if you saw that video, thank you so much for your kind words about my skin reaction and your recommendations for things that I can help to heal my skin. I'm definitely looking into some of those, but I have had a moment with my skin this month. Basically, I've had about 6 weeks of really bad skin reactions, and it's started like coming up my chest and it's on my chin and my jaw. So testing out foundations I was a little bit scared about doing, but it's clear, like my eczema is clearing up on my face and my neck now, so I feel like I can happily say that I really like this skin tint concealer combo. It's really nice and fresh. It is nice and hydrating. I do feel like the hydration is there when I'm applying it. I do feel that, but also I feel like the coverage can definitely be built up even with the sponge. Just applying it all over with the sponge and also building up the coverage with the sponge, I feel like gives a really nice finish. Not anything like full coverage or like glam, but for an everyday, I'm sold. I do still need to try it with like different skincare, different SPF, because obviously on an everyday basis I would be wearing SPF underneath it, so I'm holding judgment, but this is still like early doors. I'm really impressed. And then the last video to go up in the month of April, I was showing you through my Pastel Roses haul. I did just sort of throw everything into this bag. I will say I filmed that maybe about 2 weeks ago now, that whole haul. So I got a few of the pressed eyeshadows, which, like I said, I've just chucked everything back into this bag because I don't have a magnetic palette for these to go into. Also, one of these did arrive smashed. Well, it's smashed to absolute bits. I messaged them on Instagram and they were so great. They're sending me out another one. So I'm really impressed with like the customer service. It was like an instant response. The pressed eyeshadows, the little, I'll show you the actual, the little pressed pans. I think this is where I'm going to see the most value in the Pastel Roses. The flake pots, although they are beautiful, I don't know how convenient these are going to be for an everyday for me. Like, obviously they're a flake of pigment, they are a flake of product. I'm still figuring it out, basically. I'm still figuring out how these fit into my everyday. However, these little single pressed eyeshadows have just fit into my everyday routine flawlessly, truly. And the shade Daylily, let me open this up because I've been wearing this one so much. I'm like nervous because I'm so scared that obviously these are very delicate. So the shade Daylily, it's like peachy and gold and it's just incredible. These like multi-chrome, duochrome pressed eyeshadows, yeah, they are a little bit pricey. They are, but they're also a UK indie brand. I think it's probably just one lady doing this whole thing by herself, or maybe like a couple of them, I don't know. But it's a UK indie brand. You're supporting your local peoples, and like I said, the customer service was really super speedy. I was really impressed, and of course that just makes me feel like I want to support them more because there was a problem and it was solved. It's not just like, yeah, they shipped my order out very quickly. I got it and it was all good. No, there was a problem and it was solved. And I rate that sort of customer service so highly because it's so rare. And obviously if it is just one person, then that is like absolutely hats off to you, because I am so impressed. And like I say, those single shadows are, I'm doing another haul. And I really am just so impressed, because they're the sort of things that I will just literally just squiggle my finger in and apply over the lid, take a big brush, blend it out, do a wing and call it a day. And those like duochromes are so reflective and so shifty that it makes it look like you've done a whole like eye look, because it's like darker and lighter and it's catching the light a little bit, and it's like but no, it's just one shade right across your lid, maybe with a bit of bronzer through the crease. I am so impressed. And that is all of the products that I tested out last month. Now, for a few miscellaneous favourites, I feel like at the end of the month I always get to a point where I'm like, I can't remember what all of my favourites have been this month. I wrote it down on my phone so that I wouldn't forget anything. First up, the Beauty Bay blush palette. I feel like I tested this maybe a month or two ago, maybe even 3 months ago. I can't remember. One of my followers messaged me on Instagram and was like, you need to try this. I was like, I don't know how I feel about a blush palette. Like, it's a lot of packaging, and it is a lot of packaging, but oh my goodness, I have been wearing this blush shade in the middle so much. This over the top of this liquid blush, it's just out of this world glow. It is more like a blush with a highlight in it. It's what I'm wearing today. It's the blush, it's the only blush that I'm wearing today. That middle shade, what's it called? Peach. That makes sense, doesn't it? This peachy shade. This really is the only shade that I have been like reaching for a ton. This is also what I've got across the eyes. Obviously I've got a metallic green wing, which is like a whole vibe in itself. But this is the only blush that I'm wearing on my cheeks. Look at the glow. It's like peachy with a golden glow in it. It's so juicy on the skin. It really does give life to the skin, and I can't believe that it has taken me so long to try it, because I just feel like the glow on the cheeks, it's what I love. It's mindless makeup. I know that I can put that on and it'll make my skin look great. Really been loving it. I have also, if I show you this, I mean, I'm very much climbing up Beauty Bay's behind in this video, but for good reason, because this hair oil, this is the Nourish and Fibre Repair hair oil. Look how much of this I have used. It's like half full. I mean, obviously my hair doesn't grow this colour. This is bleached with a lot of colour over the top of it. This is very processed hair, and obviously I put a lot of heat on it as well. So having something really nice and hydrating and like an oil that feels like it's actually doing something for my hair, I've been so loving this one so much. It says that you can use this overnight. I've never done that. I put this on my hair when I'm fresh out the shower, when it's like still very much wet. I will put this on, I'll tie it up on the top of my head, and then like 10-15 minutes later I'll brush through my hair. This detangles, it hydrates, it leaves my hair feeling so nice and like genuinely nourished. Genuinely, like my hair is smoother and like it's actually working on my hair. I've tried a lot of hair oils where they just feel fine, but once you wash your hair they sort of do nothing, and this one really makes me feel like I'm putting something good in my hair. Also, after I have like heat styled it, like I have today, I take a few drops, but just like a smaller amount, just a few little drops, and I will like warm it through all of my hair, and then I'll like scrunch it right through the ends to like rehydrate the hair after I have put a lot of heat on it. And another one that I have just been loving, truly just really like looking forward to using it, because I know how it makes my hair feel so much nicer. And that is all of my favourites. I would love to know, are any of these your favourites as well? I would really love to know if you've picked up any of these products from my recommendation throughout the month. I would love to know, or I would love to know what your favourites are if you think that there's anything that I've been missing. I am always happy to pick up some more products, but if you made it to the very end of this video, I just want to say a massive thank you. It really does mean so much to me when you spend a little bit of your day with little old me. I really just appreciate everybody who turns up here so often. I appreciate, I am waffling now, you have probably been here for like, what, 40 minutes? So thank you ever so much if you spent some of your day with me. I would really appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button. That helps me out so much when you press that. And until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.